My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the 2018 game God of War. Now, this is a game that I heard so many people claim to be one of the greatest games of all time. I heard amazing things about this game. So I played God of War 3, and I wasn't too impressed with it, but everyone kept telling me, no, this is the game you have to play. This is the one that will change your mind on God of War. So then I just finally played it, and I have to say that this might be the most overrated game I've ever played. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I was not a fan of this game. That's not to say there's not good elements of it, there definitely is, and I'll definitely get into those, but just as a whole, I was so incredibly underwhelmed by this game, and I didn't have a lot of fun playing it. Now let's talk about what I did like. The graphics in this game look amazing. It's so easy not to give games the credit they deserve now regarding graphics because so many games now have amazing graphics, but it still bears repeating. This game looks amazing. All the water, the mountains, the forest, just everything about it looked incredible. There's a scene, well, multiple scenes where you go into the Bifrost and as you turn it on, all this weird stuff starts going on in the room and it just looks incredible. So the game's graphics are outstanding and the sound design is also great. Whether it's a giant horn that you blow into to communicate with the serpent or just every punch that you feel the impact of, the sound design of this game is also great. And this game also has one of the most unique openings I've ever seen because I put in the game, it loaded, and then you go to a main menu and you select your options and there's a background of Kratos with his axe at a tree. And then as soon as you press all the buttons, like the words just disappear and it just says keep pressing R1. So I'm like, okay, he's gonna keep pressing R1 and then we're gonna get a loading screen and then the game's gonna begin. And he keeps chopping at the wood and then he picks it up and they go to a boat. And I'm like, oh, I'm playing the game now. I know it's such a small thing, but I really love that. Just such a unique kind of opening I've never experienced before in a game. And then by a certain point, I realized that this game was a single shot. Not counting the times I died. But at no point does this game break away to a black screen, loading screen, or at no point does this game have any breaks in its storytelling. It is one continuous shot. The beginning to end of this game, if you didn't die once, it would look like one seamless shot. That's an impressive achievement. I can't state that enough. I thought that really brought a unique angle to this game. And I love the mythology on display. Just this exploration of Norse mythology, whether it's Freya or Thor or Odin, it's not always directly in relation to the story, but you can pick up on all these things throughout. You can learn more about the mythology at play here in the game, and I found that stuff to be very fascinating. And I love the characters of Kratos. He's an excellent character who just looks very menacing. I gotta actually mention, regarding graphics, his beard, whenever there's a close-up on his face, if you really look at that beard or goatee, whatever you want to call it, it looks insanely real. But he's just such a badass. He has a menacing presence to him. But there's also some deeper stuff regarding him and his past in this game. I like that you can tell that he's ashamed of all the terrible things he's done before in the past. And I really thought that brought a new dimension to his character. There's also his son, who I'm just going to call Boy, because that's all Kratos seemed to ever call him. I also liked him as a character too. I thought he was well defined and I liked the journey he goes on in this game. And those two and their relationship definitely serves as the main emotional core for this game. And as that progressed throughout, that was the stuff I was most invested in. And because of that, I have to give major props to both Christopher Judge, who voiced Kratos, and Sonny Sarjak, who voiced Atreus, Boy. He was also an actor in mid-90s Killing of a Sacred Deer and The House with a Clock in Its Walls, and he is a very talented young actor, and that shows here. He does a great job in this story. I also love how this game in moments showcases the strengths of the characters inside. This game begins, and within like a half hour, you get this huge epic battle, like right at the start, and like you can feel every punch, and it's like the earth is literally crumbling apart during this fight scene, and you can just feel the weight of everything. And especially whenever blood is eventually drawn, it feels that much more brutal because it took so much more to get to that point. So those action sequences really allowed this game to stand out in moment. But all that said, I don't think this game has a good story. I know, don't shoot the messenger. I know people praise this game for its story, but it did nothing for me. The main goal that you have to achieve in this game, I had zero emotional attachment to. Basically, Kratos and his son are going to the highest mountain in all the realms to spread the muzzle's ashes. And because I never knew this muzzle, there was no flashbacks. We never knew her before this game. At least I don't think we did. I haven't played the first two God of War games. But I just had zero emotional attachment to this quest. And just the way that the quest should have played out, it should have been a very short, simple game. But the game just finds convoluted ways to add length to it. Oh, there's a mountain that we have to get to. Let's go up it. And oh man, there's some black fog. They do this time and time again, where you're about to accomplish the task, and then they find a way to drag it out for another 5 hours. It just got laughably repetitive at a certain point. And I'm just like, okay, 1 or 2 times I can forgive, but this is just excessive. And that's the story. It's just you have to accomplish this task, and it's just dragged out for far longer than it should have been. There's all this other stuff going on, but I didn't really find the relation between those characters and what was going on with them and this main quest. Like, yes, those characters and their conflicts and all that are present in this game, but it felt like a total detachment from the main quest. And those characters just come and go as the story pleases, and there's no reason for them to come and go at the moments that they do. It all just feels really random. And because of that, I just had a hard time getting invested in everything going on. It just, in some ways, felt like one giant side quest. And that's not good for a story to feel that way. Also, the gameplay. I didn't like this gameplay. I didn't like God of War 3 because of the button mashing kind of gameplay, but when I saw the gameplay footage for this game and how it's more sword player based, how it kind of looks more like an Uncharted game, when you're actually fighting people, it's just as button mashing as it was in God of War 3. It's just non-stop button mashing, and I don't find that kind of game to be appealing. I guess that's my fault for playing it, but still. Like, there's no strategy to it. You just gotta keep pressing the buttons as much as you can, dodging whenever you can, and it's not fun to me. I didn't find fighting people was a lot of fun, and there's a few guys in here where, like, they take 2 swings at you, and you're dead. Sometimes just 1 swing will kill you. And at an eventual point, I was just like, okay, I'm not having fun with this. There's just no strategy to it. This game's actually quite difficult, which usually I don't mind. But here it's just like, well, there's only so many ways I can mash these buttons. And it's just, no, not for me. I will say though, I do love using the axe, how you can throw it and then call it back to you and catch it. Yeah, that's real badass. It feels awesome when you do it. The weapons are cool, but the actual combat itself just left plenty to be desired. There's also a lot of moments where you're just on an elevator for a really long time, and it's just like, okay, I get that you gotta go places, but man, this is a lot of elevators. Yeah, just one thing I noticed. I will say though, I was at a point near the end of this game where I'm just like, you know what? I just don't get the love these games get, and I still don't. And I'm just like, I don't even think I'm ever gonna play God of War Ragnarok. But there's a reveal at the end, which I thought was absolutely perfect. And I'm just like, shit. You know, I probably won't like it because I don't like the other God of War games, but I might check out the newest one. I'm still not sure yet, but maybe I will, because I do feel like this game ends on a very interesting note, to say the least. But yeah, like, this game definitely has good things about it, whether it's mythology, or the 2 main characters, or the graphics and the technical elements behind this game. Those are all impressive. But the main reasons why I play games is to get a good story and to have fun playing it. And those two things were missing for me from this game. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and give the 2018 God of War a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, I know. I really wanted to love this game, but I just didn't. But what did you think of God of War 2018? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.